games on the bench?
I don't know why. Seems like the club is throwing me under the bus. That's how I feel it. I think it's very clear that someone wants me to get all the blame. The club promised me in the summer for a lot of promises and nothing. So far, I'm in the bench 3 games, so I can't say that they keep the promise. And I said that many times before. I had a good relationship with the manager, and out of the sudden, we don't have any relationship. I don't know why. It seems to me, how I see it, it's someone doesn't want me in the club.
I mean, that's incredibly damning, that is. It's incredibly damning. My view, I'll get your view, yours is more important than mine. My view, ever so briefly, is I see there's 2 problems with that. One is no player deserves to be picked on anything other than current form, irrelevant of how great they are, right? And this applies to everyone. This goes back to the club's bigger than the player, not the other way around. If you're not playing well, the manager's got every right to take you out. But, and there's a big but, he obviously feels from the body language and what he's saying, he obviously feels that because the relationship between him and Slot has gone, it's sort of irrelevant what he does. He's not getting back into that side out of spite. And if I don't know that to be the case, I can only guess from what I'm listening to. If that's the case, then for my money, there's no way back. I think a conversation like that with any player, certainly one of Liverpool's greatest ever, I can't see a way back unless the manager goes. He's not going to go, so it must be Salah that goes.
Do you know what, right? So, first and foremost, I think you're right. I think every player should be picked on merit, right? But I do think there are certain players that should have a stay of execution a little bit longer, just to see if they can get themselves out of it. So, I'm not saying that he deserves to stay in the team every single week, but I think when you have been as good as he is, even if he goes 3-4 games without a goal, I think he's earned the right in that respect to go maybe a bit longer, right? Not saying the whole time, but a little bit longer than other players. Do you know what I mean? Because I think he's earned that right. But I'm with you. I think there's I'm not quite sure there's a way back for him. I think the timing as well is quite key because, listen, Egypt's first game in the AFCON is December the 22nd. That's a couple of weeks up. So he's going soon, right? So if Arne Slot can get Liverpool kind of ticking while he's away, then it almost looks after itself. But I agree. I think there's no way back. I think he's been such a great player, and I hate for him that it's ended this way. But I don't think it's the case of someone wanting him out of the club. Sometimes you have to look in the mirror, and for Mo Salah, he hasn't been good enough this season. Like usually, I'm pretty sure if you looked at him the last 4 or 5 years, right, there's going to be loads of moments where he's not tracked back. But the reason why it's become a thing is because he's not scoring. Now, when you're scoring goals every single week and scoring 30 a season, you're almost going to, like Jurgen Klopp, and Arne Slot to a point last season, would turn a blind eye to it and go, I know he's not doing defensive work, or he does a bit of it, but not that much. But because of what he's doing going that way, we'll just leave it a little bit. But when you're not scoring, you're not assisting, you're not putting in performances, then everything else gets highlighted. Because again, I was always told as a youngster, goals cover cracks. Now, when you're not scoring goals and playing well, the cracks start to appear wider than ever. And you're hearing everyone talking about his work rate. That was never a thing before. Now, all of a sudden, because he's not playing well, that's the problem Salah's got now. So it's not the fact that, yes, the relationship is broken down between Arne Slot and him because he's not played well enough. So Arne Slot's got to find a way of getting results. That's why that's broken down. And the reason why he's feeling like people are trying to get him out of the club comes back to that as well, that he's not the scapegoat. But when you have been one of the best players in the Premier League for the last 8 years, you decline as badly as he has done this season, people are going to say, well, not that it's his fault, but he's a big reason as to why Liverpool are where they are right now.
It's a big risk, though, from Arne Slot because things aren't going well. And you're now going to divide, I don't know what percentage, but you're now going to divide the fan base even more, right? There are some fans already up to this moment that aren't convinced Slot's the right man, even though they won the Premier League.
Rightly so.
And rightly so, because their form has been dreadful. Even when they did really well at the beginning of the season, it was always us going, signing champions scoring in the last minute. Where in actuality, looking back, the reason they were scoring late in the last minute because they just weren't good enough for the 89 before that, or 90 plus, whatever. It's a big, big risk because getting rid of a fan's favourite, I don't think can ever really work, ever. Even if you go on to bigger and better things, there's always that, I loved it when Salah was here. But if he goes and Liverpool's form gets worse and they fall even further off that cliff, and we can see they're struggling, not just Salah, but no one's really playing well for Liverpool at the moment, right? I sort of feel Van Dijk's getting away with it a little bit.
Yeah, but he's getting, but again...
Maybe because Konate's even worse, so the highlights on... And
also as well, what do you do? If Van Dijk isn't playing and you take him out, what happens then?
Yeah, but I just... If I was a Liverpool fan, I would start to wonder whether or not this is the beginning of the end because Salah goes, right? Van Dijk's the last one. You got him and Alisson are the sort of superstars there. Trent's already left.
Yeah.
Now Van Dijk, his form's not great. He might be thinking at his age, he's no spring chicken. He's like 33 or something.
Yeah.
He might be thinking, actually, I've got one more big deal. If I go to Saudi, I'll go to the States or whatever. Then you got a goalkeeper left who's got a back four in front of him. Okay, 34. You got a goalkeeper left whose back four in front of him is disintegrating before his eyes. I mean, this could be literally the beginning of the end for Liverpool.
I wouldn't say it's the beginning of the end because I think
it could be.
No, but I think they have to. He's gonna have to rebuild. That's similar. He's got good young players there, and I think they can rebuild. But we've said it so many times, like with Salah. Like in my opinion, he is the greatest right winger to ever grace the Premier League. I think he's that good. His numbers back that up as well. Scored big goals in big games as well. Like his numbers, when you look at it, they don't seem real.
But don't you think it's for the manager, Arne Slot, to get the best out of him? Like, if you go into that club and you've got an absolute superstar, not just one of Liverpool's greatest ever, but one of the Premier League's greatest, isn't it your job to make him feel absolutely loved?
I understand that, and Arne Slot did that last year. But if Salah comes back, and you've watched Liverpool a lot this season, and again, I am one of Salah's biggest fans. Me and you have sat on the show many a time, right? He doesn't look like the same Salah that was there last season.
Why is that? Is that because Trent's gone? He's got different fullbacks behind him?
I mean, there's a little bit of that, but he's good enough to adapt to whoever's behind him, whoever's inside, and whoever's up front. Like, he's that good of a player. And when you look at him last season, everything he touched and everything he did was just class. This season, he's got 4 in all comps, right? This season, he's got 4 goals, I think, Salah, all season. Now, that's not him. He's got 4 goals and 2 assists in the Premier League. For someone of that quality, he's better than that.
Let me ask you this then, right? Even if it's 51% to 49, right? If I ask you who you blame for this situation right now, even if it's 51-49, the answer is either Slot or Salah. It's either one, right?
Yeah.
It might be 75% and 25%, but one of them's got a little majority stakeholding in it's his fault.
Yeah.
Okay? Whose fault is it?
I'd probably say Mo.
51% Mo,
yeah,
49% manager.
Because I mean, there are even times where Mo's just giving the ball away. I'm calling him Mo. Like Salah's just giving the ball away.
I think it's the manager's fault.
Again, I'll go back to this point.
You're paid to manage.
Right, I get that, but
Liverpool's great, one of the greatest ever.
I understand that, but if
he's going to walk out the door and
if Salah can't keep the ball and keeps giving the ball away, that's not the manager's fault. If he's missing chances, how can you blame Slot for that?
He's obviously going onto the pitch not in a good frame of mind because of his relationship.
So he can't play the ball for 10 yards.
No, but it's his manager's job to make him feel like he's puffed out his chest and he's 10 foot tall, and he's not doing that.
I played the game for a long time, Andy. To make 10-yard passes, come on. Or if you miss chance, I always forgive players for missing chances because it happens. Everyone misses chances. The best of the best of the best will miss chances. But even sometimes that in possession, giving the ball away. There's nothing Arne Slot can do about that. Yes, the way he set Liverpool up tactically, and now when you look at the signings that he's made, you go, that ain't worked. But at the start of the season, me and you sat on the show and said, oh my goodness, Wirtz, Isaac, Ekatike, Frimpong, Kirkes. I'm going, oh my goodness, there's only one winner. Like Liverpool going to whoop the league this year. But the way that he not so much his body language, but the form of Salah this season, it just isn't what we're used to seeing. And when you've been as good as he has, even if you decline 5%, it stands out like a sore thumb because he's just not what we're used to seeing. I'm used to seeing Salah right now, 1 or 2 at this point in the season in the goal scoring charts. Yeah. He's just not been anywhere near it.
51% you're saying Salah. I'm saying it's Slot's fault.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
Can I just have a show of hands in the gallery? Who thinks it's the manager's fault? Oh, 1. Wow. Okay, majority think it's the player's fault. What do you think? 03717223344. I'd be very interested to see Liverpool fans' view on this. The fans' favourite, one of Liverpool's greatest ever players.
I mean, it's a big decision. Do you sell him? I mean, if you get 75 million...
Oh, you won't get that.
Oh, of course you will.
You won't. Because he's going to go anyway.
If Saudi, no, he's got 3 years left in his deal, I think.
I know, but he needs to get out of the club.
If Saudi Arabia come to... And Liverpool say...
50 is the number.
I'm going 75.
Okay. But you think it's the player?
I'm saying, sometimes you've got to look in the mirror. You can't always blame someone else.
I think it's the manager. What do you think? 03717223344. That's where we go right after this.